Hi guys, what is happening? Jonathan here, aka Crazyshadow303 here with the second of tonight's two videos. This is the Thursday Shadow League calendar draw. Basically this draw is to determine which order we are going to be racing the circuits on the game. Obviously it's going to be a 20 race season. Season 3 of the Thursday Shadow League, so it's going to be raced over 20 different Thursdays. It is actually going to be running from this Thursday right up until late July. We are getting a few season breaks. That's going to be on the 16th of March, the 11th of May, the 20th of July, and that's really due to personal reasons, mainly due to work, and I'm actually on holiday away on holiday the 20th of July, so those are the weeks that are not going to be we're going to be racing Thursday Shadow League events, but that's basically because of personal circumstances. So right now we it's going to be the season's going to be finished in like 23 weeks, so that's the 20 races plus the 3 season breaks. Also, as this season is set in realistic mode on the game, meaning that the cars on the game, the performances closely resemble their real world counterparts. So if you're in a Red Bull, you're in a pretty quick car. If you're in a Williams, you're in the slowest car in the game. We basically do that based on each driver's skill level. So, for example, a faster driver would be in the slowest car, Williams. And obviously, you know, like a slow driver who's always seemingly at the back of the pack will then go into a Mercedes, Ferrari or Red Bull, one of the 3 quickest cars. We always do reviews like that after every 4th race. So after rounds 4, 8, 12 and 16, we'll have car reviews, meaning, you know, one driver could potentially change cars up to 3 times in a season. So that's how we sort that. But right now I'm going to be drawing the tracks, and yeah, so we've got the F1 circuits here, the 20 chosen ones. We're not going to be running Monaco, Azerbaijan, who's the others? Let's see, Monaco, Azerbaijan, Saudi Arabia or China, because in this game there's 24 circuits. I had to whittle it down to 20, so those are the ones that are not going to be in the calendar this season. Saudi Arabia, Monaco, Azerbaijan and China. Every other circuit is in this bowl, and when I pull out a circuit, then I'm going to pull out one from this bowl, which is the round order and the dates that they're going to be raced. So yeah, basically, so like if I pull out round 1, that's going to be like this Thursday, round 1 for the season. And yeah, let's try and get the camera sorted before I do this. There we go. Hopefully that's all good. So yeah, let's start by drawing out the first track, and that is Hungary, the Hungaroring. Classic track, classic race on the calendar. I've just dropped it, one moment. So, Hungaroring. So, where is that going to be? Or rather, when? What round? So, that's just dropped, one moment, guys. There we go. That is going to be round 11. So the Hungaroring, pretty much similar to where it is normally. So round 11 is on the 18th of May, and it's just over the halfway point in the season. So round 11 will be Hungary on the 18th of May, guys. So let's see what the next one is. That's Portugal. Now, Portugal wasn't officially on the calendar. It was part of DLC. but we're including it anyway. So the Algarve International Circuit, really good track to race on, to be honest. Had a few decent results on there myself. So where is Portugal going to come out? That is round 9, and that is going to be a sprint race. That is going to be the second sprint race of the season, guys. So that is going to be interesting, doing a sprint at Portugal on the 27th of April. So end of April, guys. End of April. Right, next one. Let me just try and put that back on. There we go. Right, so next one is going to be Imola in Italy. The Autodromo International Enzo Di Ferrari track. Used to be known as the San Marino Grand Prix. It does have a little bit of history, being the track that the late great Ayrton Senna was killed on, unfortunately. Rest in peace, Ayrton. So yeah, Imola in Italy. That is the third track to come out. So where is that going to be? That's going to be round 8, guys, on the 20th of April. So that is just before Portugal. Yeah, so that's just going to be before Portugal on the 20th of April. After this race, the second car review of the season will take place. So yeah, I mean, Imola followed by Portugal. That's an interesting schedule already. Let's check the next one. And it's Canada, the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Our defending champion Bimmerguy, his home race, being Canadian. So yeah, I mean, hopefully he's looking for a decent home Grand Prix in Canada. Bimmerguy, our current defending champion. And when are we racing in Canada? And Canada is going to be round 12. Canada is round 12 after Hungary. So yeah, that's on the 25th of May. The third car review of the season will take place after this race. So yeah, 25th of May, end of May. Round 12, Canada. So let's see who's next. Let's put that on there. Austria, the Red Bull Ring. Red Bull Racing's home circuit. That's where their headquarters mainly are. And yeah, you can recognise it by it having a giant statue of a Red Bull. So yeah, Austria next. It's also the shortest lap in the game at a sub 1 minute 5. So the shortest lap of the game. When are we racing that? Oh, that's going to be the season finale, guys. Austria is the season finale. That is going to be a really awesome finale there. The shortest lap on the circuit. So it's going to be like the longest 50% race distance, which we do, 50% race distance. And that is on the 27th of July. Season finale in Austria. In fact, let me just put them there, because I keep falling off. Yeah. Netherlands circuit Zandvoort, Max Verstappen's home race. We haven't actually raced on this circuit before in the TSL, I don't think. So this is going to be the first time that the Netherlands is going to be raced by the TSL drivers. And when is that going to be? That's round 16 on the 22nd of June. So, Netherlands. 22nd of June, the final car review will be after this race for the final 4 races. So yeah, ZANDVOORT on the 22nd of June, round 16. Next we have Singapore. Now, Singapore actually is not the only game, you know, F122 isn't the only game that Singapore circuit actually appears on. If you look on Call of Duty, at their map Grand Prix, it's actually the pit lane of this circuit and the paddock. The pit lane and the paddock of this circuit is on Call of Duty. It's an awesome map because I'm a Call of Duty player as well. It's an awesome map to both race and shoot people on, which is an interesting statement. So the Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore. When are we racing Singapore? Singapore is going to be round, it's the season opener. Round 1 this week, the 23rd of February. We are in Singapore. That is going to be an interesting season opener, guys. Singapore, this Thursday, the season opener, round 1. That is going to be one hell of a race this week. So 23rd of February, Singapore. Straight in on it. Next we have the longest lap on the calendar, Belgium, the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. You know about Eau Rouge, Radion, they're actually the same corner. So yeah, the same corner has 2 different names. That big uphill after the starting hairpin. So yeah, when are we racing Belgium? And Belgium is going to be round 4, which is actually going to be the first sprint race on the 23rd of March. So yeah, GIUM. So round 4 and the first car review is also after this race as well. So it's all, not only is it the first sprint of the season, it's also the first car review of the season. So the 23rd of March, end of next month, round 4 in Belgium. So next we have Bahrain. The Bahrain International Circuit, usually the season opener in the real world, but obviously it can't be the season opener for the TSL. So let's see where we are racing in Bahrain. Or rather, when are we racing Bahrain? And that is going to be round 13, guys, the 1st of June. And that is actually going to be the 2nd month in which we don't have a season break. April, we don't have a season break, so we race every Thursday in April. And we're going to be racing every Thursday in June, and there's 5 Thursdays in June. So there's going to be 5 races. This is going to be the first one on the 1st of June. So round 13 is going to be Bahrain. And that is straight after Canada as well. So round 13, Bahrain. Netherlands is also in June as well now. So the next one is Miami, USA. The Miami International Autodrome recently had its first Grand Prix in the real world last season. Racing around the Hard Rock Stadium, home I think of the Miami Dolphins. in Miami. So yeah, where is, and this is actually the first of 2 USA races. So yeah, Miami, USA. When are we racing Miami? It is an interesting little circuit. It's relatively new. They have a fake marina as well, for some reason. And yeah, that is going to be round 18 on the 6th of July, and that will kick off the so-called home stretch, the last 3 races. So Miami is round 18. Miami round 18. There we go. What we got left? We have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are halfway through the calendar, guys. We have 10 more to go. Next one, we have Brazil, the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, also known as Interlagos. Got a very twisty Sector 2 on that circuit, and a very long Sector 3. Almost straight, really, the Brazilian track. It's usually the last but one track that the real world F1 cars go to. But yeah, so Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, also known as Interlagos. When are we racing? I have no idea what the cats are doing. So it is round 6 on the 6th of April. Last season it was the opener, but this season it is round 6, and it's the first race scheduled for April. Obviously, 6th of April, Brazil. There we go. So from the season opener to round 6 for Interlagos. Up next we have Spain, Barcelona, the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Very prominent testing circuit for F1, along with Bahrain, to be honest. Right in the heart of Barcelona, very classic track. Had a few modifications last season, most notably turn 10. You know, they've widened it out a little bit. I do wish they'd get rid of the final chicane before the last corner, though, because that is a speed killer if ever I know one. So yeah, when are we racing at Barcelona? And that's going to be the second round. That's going to be round 2. 2nd of March, a week on Thursday. We are going to be racing Spain, guys. And I wish the cats would leave alone. So yeah, round 2, guys. 2nd of March, week on Thursday in Spain, Barcelona. Who's next? Japan, the Suzuka International Racing Course. The only figure of 8 track in the game and on the F1 calendar. So yeah, when are we racing in Suzuka? Like I said, the only figure of 8 track that F1 ever races on. And Suzuka is going to be held on the 29th of June. That is going to be the final race held in June, the last of the 5 June races. Round 17, Japan. So yeah, there we go. And yeah, that will begin like the final 3 races really after this race. So we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more to go. Abu Dhabi, the Yas Marina circuit, very nice circuit. Made some modifications recently as well. They've taken out the chicane before turn 4, I believe it is, the hairpin, and they've just made the little left, right, left corner into one big sweeping left-hander. In actual fact, in the Quicksilver League, it's where I got my first career podium, recently P3. So yeah, Abu Dhabi, one of my favourite tracks of all time, really. It's usually the season finale in the real world, but it's not going to be the season finale here. Let's see where Abu Dhabi's going to end up in the TSL calendar. It's not the final race, but it's the final sprint race and the penultimate race. Abu Dhabi is on the 13th of July. So yeah, the final sprint, the penultimate race, 13th of July, round 19. It's usually the final race in the real world, but it's the last but one race in the TSL. So let's... Next we have Australia, the Albert Park circuit in Melbourne. It used to be the season opener, it's now Bahrain obviously, in the real world. Classic track, classic street circuit as well, you know, going around Albert Park Lake. So yeah, let's see where Australia's going to be raced by the TSL drivers. Two have interlocked there we go. And Australia is going to be round 10. The second season break comes after this race. So that is the 4th of May. Australia. Yep. So that is going to be the halfway point of the season, actually, round 10. So we have Australia just before the second season break on the 11th of May. This is on the 4th of May. We've only got 5 more to go, I believe. Yep. 5 or 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. So we have Mexico next. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Decent little track. Longest straight on the calendar. Just beating out China, really. But we're not having China this season as a circuit, as an event. So Mexico with the longest straight in the TSL calendar. Where is that going to be raced? It's going to be round 3, guys. It's the race before the first season break. So that is in about 2 weeks' time. Yep, 9th of March. It's the race before the first season break in round 3. Right, 4 more to go, guys. And we have France. Circuit Paul Ricard boasts quite literally the most layouts of any F1 circuit. Although, obviously, we only race the one layout. But there's been plenty of times, Brendis, I'm looking at you, where, you know, certain drivers have just created their own layout just to get back to the pit. So, yeah, last season, it was actually the season finale. Again, that's not going to be the case. It's either going to be round 5, 14, 15, or 7. So 5, 7, 14, or 15. We do actually have one more sprint race in round 14 to go as well. So yeah, let's see when France is going to be held. And that is round 7, the 13th of April. Obviously, as I said, April is going to be the first of 2 months not to have a season break. We're going to be racing every Thursday in April, and this is going to be one of them. So round 7 is France. So now we've just got to decide round 5, 14 and 15, and round 14 is the sprint race. So we've got 3 left here. And that is COTA in the USA, Texas, Circuit of the Americas. Been around since, I think, 2012, 2013, when the circuit was built. had a few decent races on it in the real world. Max Verstappen famously lost a podium due to a penalty on the final lap, passing Kimi Räikkönen here. So Kimi Räikkönen got the podium instead of Max Verstappen. In fact, I think it has happened to him twice on this circuit as well. The reigning real world champion, Max Verstappen. So yeah, and this is the second USA race on the calendar as well. Obviously, this season in the real world, there's going to be a third one in America, the Las Vegas Grand Prix, but you know, that's obviously not going to be on the game. And COTA is actually going to be the sprint race, round 14, 8th of June on the sprint race. So USA, yeah. So round 14, 8th of June, and that is the third sprint race of the season. So that's going to be interesting. I think I have raced a sprint race before in COTA. Can't remember which league though. So 2 more to go, guys. And we have Silverstone, my home race. Brilliant track, situated on an old RAF base. And yeah, I mean, it's had a few layouts changes over the years. Maggots and Beckett's always gives me trouble, those corners. And yeah, the paddock building, the Silverstone wing, the pit building rather, the Silverstone wing. I know for a fact Charlie and Beckett and, you know, those guys have been to Silverstone to see a race last season and the season before, really. So yeah, Silverstone, I always want to go to Silverstone. It is only about 60, 70 miles away from me. So I've always wanted to go to Silverstone in real life, to be honest, and watch a race there. But where is it? It's either going to be round 5 or round 15, guys. It is round 5. Silverstone is round 5 at the end of next month, the 30th of March. And that is the first race after the first car review. So, Great Britain. Yeah, I think I've spelled that right. So, yeah, round 5, Great Britain, the 30th of March. And, yep, that's going to be at the end of next month. And if I've done this right, this should be Monza in Italy. The final one. Yes, it is. The Autodromo National Monza. Really fast track. Recently famous for Max Verstappen crashing into Lewis Hamilton and actually landing on top of his car. And Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris and McLaren famously getting the only 1-2 of the 2021 season with McLaren. So even though Mercedes and Red Bull were trading wins, you know, McLaren had the only 1-2 of that season here at Monza with Ricciardo and Lando Norris. So yeah, and that is obviously going to be round 15, which is on the 15th of June. Let's just confirm that. Yeah. Round 15, 15th of June, third race of June, like third race in June of the season. So that is going to be there. And there you have it, guys. That is the TSL Season 3 calendar. So yeah, let me just zoom out a little bit here. Yeah, if you can see all that, guys, let me just in fact, let me just raise it all here. Yep, so that is the calendar for Season 3 of the Thursday Shadow League. We have Singapore this week, Spain next week, then Mexico, Belgium, Great Britain, Brazil, France, Imola, Portugal, Australia, Hungary, Canada, Bahrain, USA, Italy, which is Monza, Netherlands, Japan, Miami, Abu Dhabi, and we finish up with Austria. As you can see at the bottom, the season breaks are on the 16th of March, 11th of May, and 20th of July. And we're having the car reviews after rounds 4, which is Belgium, rounds 8, which is Imola, round 12, which is Canada, and round 16, which is the Netherlands. So yeah, that's it for the TSL calendar draw, guys. Hope you can join me this Thursday on Twitch, Crazyshadow303, for Singapore, the opening round of the TSL Season 3, this Thursday, the 23rd of February. And thank you guys for watching. Bye for now.